Greetings, everybody. Or may I say, Rimai Kayuki Mamai, if you're a girl, or Rimai Kayuki Tatai, if you're a boy. And this means that we are going to read a Inca legend. What I just gave you before was how to greet each other in Quechua, which was the old language of the Incas, and by the way, is still spoken widely today. An important thing to remember is that every culture has an origin, and sometimes it's steeped in myth. But a myth isn't necessarily a lie. A myth is often a tale that is not always untrue and has a little bit of truth in with it. Now, in the case of the Incas had a mythical first king called Manco Capac, who is this fellow here, who was supposedly born in the 13th century and came out of Lake Titicaca to form Cusco. Now, Manco Capac's descendants, became the Inca kings, or the Sapa Inca. Inca, by the way, in Quechua means king. So let us delve a little into the story of Lake Titicaca and how Lake Titicaca came to be. The story is in Spanish, so I'll be translating in real time, so bear with me. In a faraway time, in what is now Lake Titicaca between Peru and Bolivia, there used to be a valley with a prosperous city. Its inhabitants would live happily in these fertile lands thanks to the benevolence of the Apus, which were the mountain gods that lived all around them. The Apus would endow or give the inhabitants good harvests and would protect them from their enemies, both humans and animals. What is the most important predator of the Andes? The puma. The Apus had only placed one condition for their subjects. They should never climb to the top of the mountains where they lived and where the sacred fire burned, which was prohibited for all man. However, one day, a demon presented themselves to the city and asked their inhabitants, "Why are you listening to the Apus? Don't you want the secret fire?" The most reckless and greedy of the inhabitants of the valley were tempted by what the demon said, and together they began to climb up the hills towards the highest mountain peaks. The Apples would see them coming and were so mad because they were being disobedient. As a punishment, they sent a large group of pumas. The pumas had no mercy. They attacked them all and devoured every single last one of them. Having seen what happened, the god Viracocha became very sad. He started to cry for 40 days and 40 nights. His tears would completely cover the valley, drowning the ferocious pumas and flooding the once prosperous city. But not all the inhabitants died. Only one couple survived and came out safe and sound from the depth of the waters. This pair of survivors were called Manco Capac and Mama Oclo, the sons of the sun, and the gods endowed them with the task of explaining to men how to live in harmony with nature, and also to march towards Cusco and found in that place the dynasty of the Incas. The end. And to this day, Lake Titicaca is a very sacred lake. And did you know? Did you know that Lake Titicaca is a Quechua word that means Lake of the Stone Pumas? This is a reminder of the legend of the birth of the lake itself. In the Andean tradition, it is considered the center of the world, and anyone who travels to its depths must offer a small gift to the waters. And to this day, if you look at a map of the Incas, Cusco and Lake Titicaca are the center of the Inca world, and therefore also the entire world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed today's story, today's legend, and I invite you all to continue to discover the world of the Incas and to learn a few words in Quechua. It is time to say goodbye, but there is no word for goodbye in Quechua. So what we will say, as they say, Tinkumatama, which means until we meet again.